Welcome to Max Black. In today's segment, we are going to be talking all things leadership. And so I have an incredible panel of leaders who's going to break it all down to you around how to become that big, bold leader in your space and wear it well, okay? So with that, we're going to start off with the incredible gentleman, the only brother on the panel. Hello, you're going to represent for the brothers today, John.
No, I just love being with the ladies. Thank you, Dr. Avis.
It's a pleasure to have you. This is the incredible John Register. Welcome to today's show.
I appreciate you having us on.
Absolutely. And next to him is the amazing Barbara Little.
How are you, Dr. Avis?
I am doing great.
Thank you.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Glad to be here.
You are. It's my pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
And next to Barbara is, when I say the title, you're going to know why she's on a leadership panel. This is Colonel Renita Alexander. Wonderful to have you, Colonel.
Morning. So happy to be here.
So happy to have you. Now, I'm so excited to talk with you all. First of all, I'm so super distracted by the reflections off of that Olympic medal that happens to be in the building. Okay, so Mr. J.R. Register, can you tell us a little bit about that incredible piece of hardware that you bought here and what lessons we can all learn from what it took from you to acquire that with regards to leadership?
Well, you know, the fascinating thing is we all have challenges and struggles in life. And so on October of 94, I was injured in an accident which resulted in the amputation of my left leg, and I was on my way to the Olympic Games. And then 7 years later, after kind of getting back to this new normal mindset, I would go on to the Paralympic Games and win the silver medal in the long jump. And so what this represents for myself and all of us is that we can achieve what is in front of us. We can achieve those things that we set our minds to do. And it's just a plateau, right? Because this is only a level of success, but then how do we grow from that? I think that's what we all can learn.
Oh, I love it. Oh, my, so inspiring. I love it too. So Barbara, I think what is an incredible lesson to learn from John is that he faced this challenge that a lot of people would have just maybe like wanted to ball up in a circle and just, in essence, maybe stop truly living. And he's been able to sort of recreate and go to the next level. Can you provide for us examples of, you know, how we can overcome challenges and still lead in our lives in various different ways?
Absolutely. I think leadership starts from the inside out.
Yes.
And so you have to know who you are at your core.
Mm-hmm.
And when you know who you are at your core, you can lead through any circumstance. You know that yesterday ended last night at midnight. Today's a new day. Okay?
Yes.
So you get up and you move. It's really about resilience. It's really about your resilience. My parents taught me that at an early age. My father said, anything that's worth having, you're going to experience challenges. You're going to go through challenges. He said, get up and go. And I've lived that through my whole life. So I believe that when people are going through challenges and they're experiencing challenges, remember who you are, lean into your strengths, lead from your core, and go forward.
I love that. I love that. Colonel, so Colonel, United States Air Force
Yes,
Colonel,
that's correct.
retired, correct?
That's correct.
Now, when I think about you and what you have achieved in a, let's just say, a very male-dominated space, and still to be able to rise to that level of leadership, what can you tell women about what women can do when they find themselves in an overwhelmingly male environment, but still be able to navigate it with such success that they rise to leadership? How can they do that?
The first thing is leading yourself authentically. Finding, to what Barbara said, is finding who you are, understanding who you are at your core, falling into or leaning into your strengths, whatever they are. We follow this European male model of leadership that doesn't work for everybody. And so finding the things that work for you and leading authentically is the way I know I was able to do it. And it's really what I focus on when I am working with aspiring and ambitious leaders.
Oh my goodness, I'm loving that. I'm loving that. Now, I'm thinking also about, John, what you've been able to accomplish in your next level life is that you completely shift gears to become a professional speaker. You work with corporations. You help make sure that their workforce is rising to the occasion. What have you found have been some of the challenges that organizations are going through right now? Are they going through some challenges with leadership, with sort of motivation in the workforce as it relates to just overcoming the challenges of the pandemic, working separately, working virtually? I'm sure that that's created some challenges. What can you say to those individuals in those spaces to help them navigate that and still rise to the occasion?
You know, we all went through a cerebral amputation when COVID first hit. It was, we don't get back what we think we want back. So I don't get my leg back after the amputation, and we think we're going to get those things back. And that produces a fear in people. I want those, I desire those things back. I want to get them into my life again, but they're gone. So how then do we actually move forward from that? We have to know that there are other individuals, other people believing for us what we can or cannot do, which is based on what they think they could or could not do if they were in our situation, or society. Society being in a situation where maybe because I was an amputee, I'm looking at Captain Hook from Walt Disney, and he's an amputee. He's got his arm put up by Tick-Tock the crocodile, and then Peter Pan, and scaring the Lost Boys. And so I see that, and I take on that persona, and that drives my fear. So we have to turn out from that. We don't get those things back. And so how then do we push? It was my wife who gave me the mantra. She says, John, we're going to get through this together when I was in my lowest point of fear. This is just our new normal. So it's really going from a new normal mindset, which is baselining us. It's the baseline. It's kind of like the metal that I've made a plateau, but we have to move to a mind sight. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to get to? And I think that's where corporations and business leaders, business professionals actually need to focus. They need a mind sight.
I love that.
Mindset.
I've never heard of it put in that way before. I love this juxtaposition of mindset versus mind sight. Love it. And I know, Barbara, in terms of working with professional women, you work with what's called high capacity women,
Yes,
right?
I do.
So can you explain to us what exactly is a high capacity woman, and how can I become one, girl?
You are one. You already are one. How can you become
Already,
one?
right?
You're the model of the high capacity woman. Look at Dr. Avis, right? She is a woman who's powerful. She leads from the inside out. She's not afraid to step up. And so it doesn't matter what profession you are. You can be a stay-at-home wife or mother, and you're a high-capacity woman.
Yeah.
If you know who you are and you step up into the world and bring your best to the world. So I love working with women because women are multipliers. Multipliers from birth
Yes.
going forward. We multiply, and we need more women who lead. We need more women who lead. I was also in a male-dominated profession, and so I understood what it was like to be in a room full of men and to be the only woman in there, only African-American a lot of times. And so what do? You step up, you lead, and lead from authentically who you are. Understanding I have something very different to bring to the room, but it's powerful. That's a high capacity woman.
I love that. I'm loving it. And I think we have another high capacity woman on the panel. Absolutely. So, Colonel, just kind of riffing off of that a bit, when I think of what you do and how you've gotten to where you've gotten, what are you saying, what sort of challenges or advice would you give to the next generation who want to be, who aspire to be high capacity women, who aspire to be women in leadership in male dominated organizations? What would you tell them they need to do now to prepare for that future?
Lead yourself first. To what Barbara was saying, it's the understanding who you are. The self-awareness is the first piece of that. Being disciplined. You cannot lead other people if you can't lead yourself. So that's important. I would tell them to invest in strengths. We focus a lot on our weaknesses, but the way you turn, the things that are innate to who you are to superpowers is investing in those things. So finding out what you're really good at and investing in that, spending time doing that, learning what you need to learn so that you can be the best at what that is, right? Focusing on your purpose. What is the reason that you're here? Finding that purpose, that vision. You talked about vision, something that's bigger than you and other than you. It's really, we're not here to serve ourselves. We're here to serve something other than and bigger than, and finding people that can serve with you, that, that vision that's big enough so people can see themselves as a part of it. And then, learning, focusing on people. As again, one of the axioms I learned from the Air Force workforce is take care of the people, and the people will take care of the mission. And so, building those relationships, leadership is all about relationship. So building those relationships, understanding who you are and what you need to be in room and be in relationship with other people. Work on all of those things. And, the leadership positions being open also to what you may see as a challenge.
Yeah.
We don't grow unless we are challenged.
Absolutely.
And, I continue to grow here as a woman of a certain age. You either grow or die.
I know, John, we were almost out of time, but if you could quickly say the point that you wanted to make, I think you wanted to make.
Well, first I want to salute you. I was a corporal in the United States, so I'm a hardworking corporal. But I think, on the other side, not on the other side, but to add to what you're saying, is that we have a situation where we have to have a resolve about ourselves, because if trust is lost, and especially with women in the workforce, I was, passed over because I've started a program and they're going to put this white man ahead of me and then move me out from that position. We have to have a resolve about ourselves and know exactly who we are and how we're going to show up and forget everybody else. I know exactly what I'm going to do in this moment.
I love it. Well, I want to say thank you all for joining the panel today. This was a power panel if I've ever seen one. And we'll see you next time on Max Black.